Hello students, I welcome you on my English Guru YouTube channel. On the request of so many viewers of my channel, I am here with my new video lecture on literary forms and movements with special reference to blank verse, free verse, heroic couplet, octosyllabic couplet, lyric poetry, elegy, pastoral elegy, dramatic monologue, epic, and mock epic. In this video, I will discuss the most important direct answer type questions that may be asked in the upcoming UPPSC LT grade TGT PGT examinations. So students, please watch this video till last, and if you have any doubt or query regarding the answers provided, please feel free to share your views with me. I will once again review the answers and will resolve your issue at the earliest. Okay, so let's start. So first of all, let's talk about blank verse versus free verse. Question number 1. The form of poetry which is unrhymed yet in iambic pentameter, it's a verse of 5 feet that consists of lines of 5 feet where each foot being iambic, meaning 2 syllables long, one unstressed followed by stressed syllable is called. The answer is blank verse. Question number 2. An unrhymed iambic pentameter verse is called. The answer is blank verse. Question number 3. The form of poetry that has no any fixed meter or rhyme scheme is called. The answer is free verse. In French, it's also known as verse libre. Question number 4. Verse that has no set theme, no regular meter, rhyme or stanzaic pattern is called. The answer is free verse. Let's see question number 5. A noiseless patient spider, originally published in October 1868, and Leaves of Grass, published in July 4, 1855 by Walt Whitman, just few years before American Civil War, and The Garden, first published in 1913 in Poetry, a magazine of verse by Ezra Pound, are some of the examples of. The answer is free verse. Let's see question number 6. The words that comes at the end of lines that sound very similar, for example, love and dove, grow and sow, are called. The answer is rhymed words. Let's see question number 7. The principal form of unrhymed words is iambic pentameter, generally known as. The answer is blank verse. Question number 8. The beginning lines of the poem Song of Myself, originally published in 1855 by Walt Whitman, are: I celebrate myself, and what I assume you shall assume, for every atom belonging to me as good belongs to you. The above lines are examples of. The answer is free verse. Question number 9. Who is known as the father of free verse in English poetry? The answer is Walt Whitman. Question number 10. Who is known as the father of English poetry and grandfather of English novel? The answer is Geoffrey Chaucer. Question number 11. The basic difference between blank verse and free verse is? The answer is both are free from rhyme scheme. Question number 12. Blank verse does not have consistent meter generally. The answer is iambic pentameter. Question number 13. Free verse is free from both meter and rhyme. It has no limitation or boundary of. The answer is verse poetry. Question number 14. The blank verse was first used in English language by Henry Howard and Earl of Surrey in his translations of the answer is Aeneid. It's a Latin epic poem written by Virgil between 29 and 19 BC. Let's see question number 15. The play Arden of Feversham, it was published around 1590 by unknown author, is an example of. The answer is end stopped. So what's end stopped? When a line of poetry ends with a period or definite punctuation mark such as a colon, so it's called end stopped. Question number 16. Garboduc, also titled Ferex and Porrex, a play by Thomas Norton and Thomas Sackville, first Earl of Dorset, first performed in 1561, was the first English play to use. The answer is blank verse. Question number 17. Shakespeare wrote much of the content of his plays in. The answer is unrhymed iambic pentameter. Question number 18. John Milton's Paradise Lost, originally published in 1667, Paradise Regained, it was originally published in 1671, and Parts of Samson Agonistes, it was originally published in 1671, are written in. The answer is blank verse. Question number 19. William Wordsworth, P.B. Shelley, John Keats used blank verse as a. The answer is major form. Question number 20. Lord Tennyson's The Princess, it's a long narrative poem published in 1847, and Ulysses, it was originally published in 1833, are written in. The answer is blank verse. Question number 21. After John Milton, John Dryden wrote his tragedy All for Love, which was first performed in 1678, and James Thomson's poem The Seasons. All these two are the examples of. The answer is blank verse. Question number 22. W.B. Yeats' poem The Second Coming, it was originally published in 1919, is written in. The answer is blank verse. Question number 23. Who was the first English author to make full use of the potential of blank verse? The answer is Christopher Marlowe. Question number 24. After Marlowe, who used blank verse, that is unrhymed iambic pentameter, in most of his plays? The answer is William Shakespeare. Okay, now let's talk about heroic couplet. Question number 25. A rhymed couplet of two iambic pentameter lines rhyming together is called. The answer is heroic couplet. Question number 26. The heroic couplet generally is in iambic pentameter having 5 feet. Each foot has 2 syllables, of which the first is. The answer is unaccented and the second is accented. Question number 27. Heroic couplet is called heroic because it was first used for. The answer is epic or heroic poetry. Question number 28. Each line of the heroic couplet consists of 5 feet or 10 syllables and second syllable of each foot is. The answer is accented. Question number 29. Pope uses the verse form, that is single rhymes. Question number 30. In heroic couplet, in the middle, there is pause that commonly falls after fourth and before the sixth syllable is called. The answer is caesura. Question number 31. Heroic couplet may be of two kinds. First one is closed. In closed couplet, sense is completed with each couplet. Second one is run on. The sense run on from one couplet to another till it is completed. So these are the two kinds of heroic couplet. One is closed and second is run on. Now let's see question number 32. Who used the heroic couplet first in The Legend of Good Women, written in the 1380, and in many of the stories in the Canterbury Tales, published in 1387 and considered to have been perfected by John Dryden and Alexander Pope in the Restoration Age and early 18th century? The answer is Geoffrey Chaucer. Question number 33. In which poem Spenser used heroic couplet with great skill? The answer is Mother Hubbard's Tale. It was written in 1578 to 1579 and it was published in 1591. Let's see question number 34. For which poem Christopher Marlowe used this stanza form, that is heroic couplet, with great success? The answer is Hero and Leander. It was originally published in 1598. Let's see question number 35. Pope and Dryden both used heroic couplet as the instrument of their. The answer is satire. Question number 36. Which stanza form has been used in the poems Absalom and Achitophel, originally published in 1861, and Macflagno? It was originally published in 1682 by John Dryden, and Rape of the Lock? It was originally published in May 1712, and Dunciad? It was originally published in 1728 by Alexander Pope. The answer is heroic couplet. This heroic couplet stanza form has been used in these poems Absalom and Achitophel, Macflagno, Rape of the Lock, and Dunciad. Question number 37. During 18th century, the heroic couplet became only mechanical art and monotonous because the answer is the followers of Pope did not have his genius and ability. Question number 38. During the Romantic period, of which type heroic couplet was not entirely discarded and was followed by Byron, Shelley and Keats? The answer is the run-on. It's a variety of couplet. Next question, question number 39. John Keats' Lamia, published in 1820, is written in. The answer is run-on couplet. Question number 40. During the Victorian era, the couplet was used first by Robert Browning and afterwards by. The answer is William Morris and Swinburne. Okay, now let's talk about octosyllabic couplet. Question number 41. Octosyllabic couplet is different from heroic couplet. It consists of 8 syllables or 4 feet, while heroic couplet consists. The answer is 10 syllables or 5 feet. Question number 42. Octosyllabic couplet is a difficult measure to handle, and in narrative poems its use tends to. The answer is grow mechanical. Question number 43. During the Restoration era, from 1660 to 1700, Samuel Butler used this octosyllabic couplet with his great success in which of his satirical poems? The answer is Sir Hudibras. It's a mock heroic narrative poem published in 3 parts in 1663, 1664 and 1678. Now let's see question number 44. In Romantic age, Samuel Taylor Coleridge used this octosyllabic couplet successfully for his. The answer is Christabel. It's a long narrative poem in 2 parts. The first part was reputedly written in 1797 and the second in 1800. Coleridge planned 3 additional parts, but these were never completed. Okay, now let's talk about lyric poetry, short musical poem dealing with single emotion. Question number 45. Lyric is one of the most important forms of personal or subjective poetry meant to be sung by a single singer with the answer is lyre. It's a string musical instrument known to the Greeks. Question number 46. Lyric is of 2 types. First one is personal lyric, in which the poet expresses his personal emotion. Second one is impersonal lyric. In this type, the theme is impersonal. So these are the 2 types of lyric. First one is personal lyric and second one is impersonal lyric. Question number 47. Who defined lyric as the expression by the poet of his own feelings? The answer is John Ruskin. Question number 48. Who introduced lyric into England? The answer is Sir Thomas Wyatt. Question number 49. To a Skylark by Shelley is the most musical lyric in the English language. It was first published in, the answer is 1820. Question number 50. In Victorian era, Tennyson and Browning wrote, the answer is dramatic lyrics. Question number 51. Walter de la Mare, W. S. Davis, J. E. Flocker, John Masefield, and W. B. Yeats are the famous lyricists of the answer is 20th century. Question number 52. The chief characteristic of a good lyric is, the answer is shortness, simplicity in language and treatment. Question number 53. The lyric has three parts. First one is first stanza. It deals with the single emotion, that is motive. Second part. In this part, the poet gives us the thoughts suggested by that particular emotion. And third and final part, that marks the poet's return to his initial mood, or it embodies the conclusions reached by the poet. Question number 54. Intensity, spontaneity, and poignancy are the characteristics of, the answer is lyric. Okay, now let's talk about the Elizabethan lyrics. Question number 55. Which age of English literature is known as the glorious age of English? The answer is Elizabethan age. Question number 56. The main characteristics of lyric, blending of the genius of the people and the artistic sense awakened by humanism, is associated with, the answer is Elizabethan lyric. Question number 57. The lack of intensity, originality, and passion, but very musical, are the characteristics of, the answer is Elizabethan lyric. Now let's talk about the 17th century lyric. Question number 58. The early 17th century lyrics may be categorized into the metaphysical lyric, second one the religious lyric, and third one the Caroline or Cavalier lyric. Okay, let's see question number 59. Who is the founder of the metaphysical school of poetry who intellectualized the English lyric? The answer is John Donne. Question number 60. In the poem A Valediction Forbidding Mourning, written in 1611 or 1612 for his wife Annie before he left on a trip to continental Europe, the poet John Donne advances arguments after arguments in support of the view that true lovers need not mourn at the time of parting. Question number 61. In which poem by John Donne a case is cleverly made out in favor of love making and the lovers are ingenuously shown to be saints of love. The answer is canonization. It was first published in 1633. Question number 62. The major trait of Caroline lyric is sweetness, music, melody, and perfection in diction, but its worst fault is, the answer is, it is extremely licentious and immoral nature. Let's see question number 63. The Cavalier poets are great lovers of, the answer is nature. Now let's talk about the Romantic lyric. Question number 64. Over 100 years, the Augustans used exclusively the heroic couplet, and little lyric poetry was written during this period. Shelley is the supreme lyricist of the answer is Romantic age. Now let's talk about Victorian lyric. Question number 65. Tennyson and Browning were the greatest lyricists of, the answer is Victorian age. Question number 66. In which lyric poem Browning speaks in his own person of his love for his beloved wife Elizabeth, otherwise he pours out the soul of some imagined character in his dramatic lyrics? The answer is Prospice. It was first published in 1864. Now let's talk about the lyric of modern age. Question number 67. John Drinkwater, Walter de la Mare, W. H. Davis, James Elroy Flecker, John Masefield, W. B. Yeats are the answer is lyricist of 20th century. Question number 68. The major categories of modern lyrics are lyrics of nature, lyrics of place, patriotic lyrics, love lyrics, soldier lyrics, lyrics for children, etc. So there is immense variety and abundance of lyric poetry in the answer is post-Victorian period. Okay, now let's discuss the questions based on elegy. Question number 69. Elegy is derived from the Greek word elegus, which means a song of bereavement sung along with a flute. Question number 70. In elegy, the poet typically laments or mourns the death of the answer is individual. Question number 71. A song of sorrow, specially for the dead, is called, the answer is elegy. Question number 72. In pastoral elegy, a shepherd mourns the death of another shepherd, which is based on the answer is pastoral conventions and classical mythology. Okay. Now let's see question number 73. Who wrote Astrophel, which was published in 1595, the first great pastoral elegy on the death of Sir Philip Sidney? The answer is Edmund Spenser. Question number 74. Milton's Lycidas, published in 1637, written on the death of his friend King Edward, is the example of second great, the answer is pastoral elegy. Question number 75. Which is the third great pastoral elegy by Percy Bysshe Shelley written on the death of John Keats? So the answer is Adonais. It was published in 1821. Question number 76. The fourth great pastoral elegy, Tharsis, written on the death of Hugh Claw, published in 1867, is written by, the answer is Matthew Arnold. Question number 77. The poems Elegy written in a country churchyard, it was completed in 1750 and first published in 1751 by Thomas Gray. In memoriam, it was completed in 1849 and originally published in 1850 by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Rugby Chapel, it was published in New Poems in 1867 by Matthew Arnold, and in memory of W.B. Yeats, written in 1940, it commemorates the death of the poet in 1939 by W.S. Auden. All these poems are the finest examples of, the answer is, Elegies. Question number 78. In which poem Thomas Gray does not mourn the death of some particular friend or relative, but expresses his grief at the sorry fate of the rude forefathers of the village who died in obscurity, unknown, unsung? The answer is Elegy written in a country churchyard. Question number 79. Which poem of Matthew Arnold is the direct expression of grief on the death of his father, and later he reflects the sorry fate of humanity, the triviality and futility of human life? The answer is Rugby Chapel. Question number 80. Tennyson's In Memoriam, it's a collection of over 100 lyrics, is a unique elegy in English language, expresses poet's lament at the death of his college friend Arthur Hallam. Okay, now let's talk about pastoral elegy. Question number 81. The word pastoral comes from the Greek word pastor, which means, the answer is to graze. Question number 82. In pastoral elegy, the poet represents himself as a shepherd mourning the death of a, the answer is fellow shepherd. Question number 83. In English language, Spenser's Astrophel, in which he mourns the death of Sidney, Milton's Lycidas, Shelley's Adonais, Arnold's Tharsis, and Scholar Gypsy are the most notable examples of, the answer is pastoral elegies. All these poems are Astrophel and Lycidas, Adonais, Tharsis, Scholar Gypsy. These are the examples of pastoral elegy. Let's see question number 84. Whose death is mourned by Matthew Arnold in Rugby Chapel? The answer is his father. Question number 85. Michael, first published in the 1800 edition of Lyrical Ballads, is the famous pastoral poem by, the answer is William Wordsworth. Question number 86. The liberty with language and facts in poetry is called, the answer is poetic justice. Question number 87. who condemned the elegy form as artificial and unnatural and said, "Where there is leisure for fiction, there is little grief." The answer is, it was Dr. Johnson who criticized elegy as artificial and unnatural. And he said, "Where there is leisure for fiction, there is little grief." Question number 88. W.S. Auden reverses the elegiac tradition in his well-known work. The answer is Elegy on W.B. Yeats. Now let's talk about dramatic monologue, which is also known as persona poems. Question number 89. Dramatic monologue is an important kind of objective poetry in which thoughts and emotions of some imagined characters are expressed. Next, question number 90. In English language, Robert Browning and Alfred Lord Tennyson are regarded as the most important writers of. The answer is dramatic monologue. Question number 91. Dramatic monologues are dramatic because they do not express the thoughts and feelings of the poet but of. The answer is some imaginary character. Question number 92. In dramatic monologue, mono means one. Only one character speaks throughout the poem. Question number 93. In each monologue, one character is at the center and the substance of the monologue consists of what passes within his soul. Question number 94. André del Sardo published in his 1855 poetry collection Rabbi Ben Ezra, published in 1864, The Last Ride Together, first published in his 1855 collection Men and Women. My Last Duchess first appeared in 1842 in his dramatic lyrics. Evelyn Hope, published in 1855 by Robert Browning, are some of the well-known examples of. The answer is dramatic monologue. Question number 95. Ulysses, written in 1833 and published in 1842, Tithonus, published in 1860, and Maud, published in 1855 by Alfred Lord Tennyson, are the finest examples of. The answer is dramatic monologue. Question number 96. A type of narrative poetry in which single character speaks and the poet expresses the character and situation through conflict addressed to someone is called. The answer is dramatic monologue. Question number 97. Which poem by Alfred Lord Tennyson has been called the first true dramatic monologue? The answer is Ulysses. It was written in 1833 and published in 1842. Let's see next question. Question number 98. After Ulysses, Tennyson's Tithonus, The Lotus Eaters, published in 1832, and St. Simon's Stylites, published in his 1842 collection of poetry, are the most notable examples of. The answer is dramatic monologue. Question number 99. Which poem by Robert Browning appeared in 1842 and written in 28 rhyming couplets of iambic pentameter is an example of dramatic monologue? The answer is My Last Touches. Question number 100. William Butler Yeats, The Gift of Harun al-Rashid, first published in 1924 in the American journal The Dial. Elizabeth Bishop's Crusoe in England, first published in the New Yorker in 1971, and T.S. Eliot's The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock, first published in June 1915, and Geronison, first published in 1920, are examples of. The answer is post-Victorian dramatic monologue. Question number 101. A poem in which a single speaker at a critical moment addresses another whose presence is implicit in what the speaker says is called. The answer is dramatic monologue. Okay students, now let's talk about questions based on epic. Question 102. An epic is a long narrative poem with a heroic theme and elevated style. It deals with heroic deeds and achievements of. The answer is great warriors and heroes. Question number 103. A long poem telling the story of the leader of the whole community, written in a narrative form and lofty style, is called. The answer is an epic. Question number 104. The purpose of epic is moral and dignified theme, organic unity, orderly progress of action, and grand style are the basic trait of. The answer is epic. Question number 105. The Mahabharata and the Ramayana and Virgil's Aeneid and Milton's Paradise Lost are the examples of. The answer is legendary epic. Question number 106. The earliest epic in English poetry is Beowulf by an anonymous Anglo-Saxon poet. Question number 107. Just as a ballad is a short story in verse, the epic is a. The answer is long story in verse. Question number 108. Just as ballads are divided into two categories, similarly, epic can also be categorized into. The answer is epic of growth and epic of art. Question number 109. A long narrative poem which is not the work of a single man. Instead, a number of stories and legends are circulated orally from generation to generation, and finally those stories and legends are collected and organized by some poet is called. The answer is epic of growth. Question number 110. An epic is generally divided into. The answer is 12 books. Question number 111. The language of an epic is. The answer is noble and sublime. Question number 112. Iliad, supposed to be composed by ancient Greek poet. The answer is Homer. Question number 113. The Iliad by Homer recounts the story of the wars between the. The answer is Greek and Trojans. Question number 114. The Odyssey by Homer relates the adventures of Odysseus, hero of the epic, during his return from the Trojan Wars to his island home. What was it? The answer is Ithaca. Question number 115. Another category of epic is, the answer is epic of art. Question number 116. An epic of art is the work of one man and an artistic imitation of the manner and style of the answer is epic of growth. Question number 117. Aeneid by Roman poet Virgil and Paradise Lost in 12 books by John Milton are the most notable examples of, the answer is classical epic or epic of art. Okay. Let's see question number 118. Spenser's Fairy Queen, the greatest narrative poem in the 16th century that lacks in organic unity, which is an essential trait of classic epic, is a mixture of, the answer is epic and romance. Question number 119. Milton invokes the heavenly muse in the very beginning of his epic. The answer is in order to inspire him. Question number 120. To whom the theme of an epic, the fall of a man, and to justify the ways of God to man is associated with? The answer is John Milton. Question number 121. In all epics, there is a journey to the underworld undertaken to seek, the answer is the help of some supernatural agency. Question number 122. Abraham Cowley's Davies and D. Avenant's Gondibert are the outstanding examples of, the answer is 17th century epic. Question number 123. Paradise Lost by Milton deals with the fortune not of a city or an empire but of the whole human race. It is an example of, the answer is classical epic. Now let's see question number 124. Epic in England begins and ends with Milton. This remark refers to, the answer is Paradise Lost. Question number 125. The central theme of the Paradise Lost is, the answer is the fall of man and the loss of paradise. Question number 126. In Paradise Lost, there are two human characters. Who are they? The answer is Adam and Eve. Question number 127. The Prelude began in 1799, completed in 1825 and published in 1850 by William Wordsworth, that runs into 12 books, is one of the greatest epics of the Romantic era. Question 128. Which work by Wordsworth deals with the story of how the poet's mind was educated and developed under the influence of nature? The answer is The Prelude. Now, question number 129. After careful study of Paradise Lost, John Keats wrote Hyperion, which is modeled on, the answer is Milton's Paradise Lost. Okay, question number 130. Which epic satire by Byron deals with the social, political, and economic conditions of different countries of Europe? The answer is Don John. It was published in 1819 to 1824. Question number 131. Idylls of the King by Tennyson is a fusion of classical epic and romance. In how many years Tennyson completed it? The answer is 40 years. Question number 132. The Defense of Guinevere and Other Poems, an epic poem written by William Morris, was originally published in. The answer is 1858. Question number 133. Sohrab and Rustam. It's a epic fragment by Matthew Arnold is based on Firdausi's Shahnama, in which Sohrab dies at the hands of his. The answer is father Rustam. Next question, question 134. Which poem of Arnold embodies his fatalistic attitude towards life and the overpowering role of fate in human affairs? The answer is Sohrab and Rustam. It was first published in 1853. Let's see question number 135. The Divine Comedy by Dante is a personal epic poem deals with. The answer is the journey of soul towards God. Question number 136. The Ring and the Book, an epic written in blank verse, published in 12 books from 1868 to 1869, is written by. The answer is Robert Browning. Okay students, now let's discuss some questions based on mock epic, which is a parody of proper epic. So question number 137. A poem in which epic conventions are subverted is called. The answer is mock heroic epic. Question number 138. A parody of the real epic in a light and non-serious mood, written on the trivial or funny incident in a satirical spirit, is called. The answer is mock epic. Question number 139. The Battle of the Frog and Mice, a parody of Homer's Iliad, Tale of a Tub, and Battle of the Books by Swift, Dunciad, and The Rape of the Lock by Alexander Pope are the finest examples of. The answer is mock epic. Question number 140. In Pope's Rape of the Lock, who commits the rape on the lock of butterfly of society, Belinda? The answer is Lord Peter. He was the lover of Belinda. Question 141. Which supernatural agency has been used in the poem Rape of the Lock? The answer is sylphs. It's a mythological air spirit. Okay. Question number 142. In Pope's Rape of the Lock, what happens to the lock of hair at the end of the poem? The answer is it is turned into a constellation. Question number 143. Who is disturbed by the impending event and summons many sylphs to Belinda and instructs them to guard her from anything that may befall. So the answer is Ariel. It was Ariel who summoned many sylphs to guard Belinda from any incident that may befall. So it was Ariel. Question number 144. Who is the main character of Rape of the Lock? The answer is Ambriel, a spirit who takes over when Ariel leaves Belinda. So the most important character of the poem Rape of the Lock is Ambriel. Question number 145. What dire offense from amorous causes springs? What mighty contest rise from trivial things? The above is the opening couplet of Alexander Pope's. The answer is Rape of the Lock. Okay students, so this was the video lecture based on some of the most important literary forms and the most common questions that have been asked in the previous exams and may be asked in the forthcoming exams also. Students, if you like this video, please subscribe my English Guru channel. Thank you very much.